can start with our guests from AIESEC France.
Hello, can you see my screen?
Yeah, we can see.
Just a second. Okay, you see the full screen presentation, right?
Right.
Amazing. So, hi everybody, welcome to AIESEC. I'm going to introduce myself. I am Imen Kahna, and I am the responsible of exchanges in AIESEC in France. I don't know if you have already an idea about AIESEC. Have you heard about it? Maybe if you can type in the chat. Okay, thank you. So, okay, no, I haven't that much. Okay, amazing. I'm here for that. So great. So AIESEC is an international organization that was created for 72 years ago during right after the Second World War, and actually the main aim that we had for this organization is to promote peace and to strive for leadership. So it's an apolitical, agovernmental, and non-governmental organization, and we don't discriminate anybody for any choices in their lives. So this is something that we truly believe in. So about AIESEC, as I was saying, since it was built right after the Second World War, what we strive for is peace and fulfillment of humankind potential, because we think that young leaders can actually do something for the environment that is around us. So that's why we strive for peace. But before I say what is for us peace, I want to ask you, what do you mean by peace in your opinion? Like, what do you think peace is?
Something calm. I don't know. I have a relation with calm.
Okay, that's very nice. Yes, actually, there are different meanings for peace. We can like say peace of mind, no war. So there are different meanings for the word peace. But what actually with AIESEC we mean is to understand each other, to not create conflict because of opinions or because of different beliefs. So for us, it's very similar to what Ekaterina was saying, to be calm with each other and to not make a storm in a conversation, for example. So our how, as I was also saying before, we place confidence in youth because we think that young people are the ones that can actually make a change in the world.
Yeah, I think it's a problem of connection or internet. Okay, just we wait 2 minutes to make it possible again.
Hello, I'm sorry. It's raining a lot, and all of a sudden the internet cut off. I'm super sorry for that.
It's okay.
So, do you see full screen?
Yes.
Perfect. So I was talking about leadership, and I was saying that for leadership, we don't mean exactly always a person that is super relevant in a very global way, or like an international person or a famous person, but can be also a mom leading her children or the teacher leading the students. So the word leadership is actually something that touches us super closely, but sometimes we refer to it as something external from us. For AIESEC, leadership is based on 4 characteristics. So the first one is to empower others, so to always transmit a positive message, to encourage other people, and to be very careful on the words that we use with other people. The second one is to be solution oriented. So in case we face something, to not say like, okay, today is a mess, I'm not going to manage this, I'm not going to go through out of this, but to try to find a solution or to ask for help for that. Then being self-aware, like understanding what are our values, what are our passions, and how we can also improve the points that we don't like about ourselves. And then a world citizen, which is about being aware of what is happening in the world. So it's not just I like eating international food from other countries, but actually doing something to contribute to the world in general. For example, acting sustainably. So going towards these things of world citizen, as I was saying, why we do exchanges is because we think that in a person that is put in an external environment of very outside of the comfort zone, they can actually develop their leadership because they are going to experiment things that they were not used to do before. They are going to meet people they don't know. They are going to meet to face a culture that is not the same. I can actually give an example. When I went on exchange in Turkey, I was super surprised that in Turkey in the ID card they put the religion. I am a Muslim, but I am an Italian. So I was born in Italy and I grew up there. But since I am not practicing the religion that is of the country, I never thought that another country can ask me what is my religion and to put it in my ID card. So for me, it was super cultural shock. And I was like, wow, I am so lucky to be able to practice my religion, even though it's not the one that is the majority of the people that are doing in Italy, but still nobody is asking me what religion you're practicing, what religion you believe, and I think it's something that is, how to say, like reflective in a way that you are free to do whatever you want with your beliefs. And if the state is asking you what is your religion, then there is something that you need to worry about. So I think it's something super simple, I guess, but it still helps us to understand sometimes how much lucky we are to be born in a country and not in another, and how we can actually contribute to make the other country as lucky as we are. So the values of AIESEC is, the first one is to be striving for excellence. AIESEC is only like composed by people who are aged between 18 and 30 years old. So we are all young, and also for people who wants to go to an exchange, they should be between this average, like between 18 to 30, because the, how to say, the basic of AIESEC is towards young people. So even though we are very young, we still want to strive for excellence and to go to do our best. Then living diversity, that is very similar to World Citizen, but is actually here more about accepting diversity. And for diversity, I don't just mean culture diversity, but can be like an introspective person, sorry, an extrovert person and an introvert person, that they are also diverse between each other, but also to be welcoming different characters of people. Enjoying participation, if we have something to do, like to be able to put ourselves and say, okay, I want to try this, why not? And to be taking also risks. Demonstrating integrity, to be like, if we say that AIESEC is free and not it doesn't discriminate anybody, we need to be put in practice what we say. Acting sustainably, here you see actually 3 symbols. Time, the leaf for the environment, and the money. So to use our resources super carefully, also to make our generation, the next generations, to be like safe. And then activating leadership. So the leadership that I was talking about before, to put it also always in practice. Amazing. So as I was telling you, AIESEC does exchanges. So we have 2 different kind of programs. The first one is Global Talent, which is a program for internships, like more professional. And then we have Global Volunteer, that is more about volunteering projects. So now I'm going to explain them more in details. If you have any question, you can just ask me. So Global Talent is actually an opportunity for you to develop your leadership while you boost your career, because you're going to work in an international environment. Because with AIESEC, we don't allow people to do an exchange with the same country where they have always lived. So for example, if I am Italian, I cannot never do an exchange with AIESEC in Italy because I'm not challenging myself. I'm not going outside of my comfort zone. It's going to be just applying for a job in Italy. So there is not the added value of AIESEC. So in this case, you are going to work with different companies, can be multinationals like DHL, that is our partner, Microsoft, Apple, or can be smaller startups that are working with us. So the benefits, as I was saying, is a global opportunity because for sure you're going to work in an international environment. Usually those people don't hire one person only, they hire between 5 and 10 people. So you are going to be in touch also with not only the people from that country, but also people that are coming from other countries to develop yourself, of course, because you are going learning some skills, I don't know, like to adapt to a new environment, maybe to practice your English. So you're going for sure to, or maybe you're learning the language of the local language if you like it. So it depends also on the duration of the internship, you can actually learn it. And then at the end, to boost your career, because of course, putting in your CV an experience abroad with an important company, it for sure helps your CV. So what are the characteristics of the global talent? It's a professional work experience abroad. So this is super important. The duration are minimum, each project of AIESEC is minimum 6 weeks, so 1 month and a half. And for global talent only, it can be maximum to 1 year and a half. So 78 weeks are 1 year and a half. But most of the time, we don't really have 1 year and a half. The maximum we can get most of the time is 1 year. So we have working hours that you can see are minimum 35 and maximum 45 per week. It depends also on the law for the labor law in the country, so it changes. And if your internship is between 1 month and a half to maximum 8 weeks, either a salary is provided or the accommodation. But if it's more than 8 weeks, a salary is mandatory. So if it's less than 2 months, you may not receive a salary. But if it's more than 2 months, you must receive a salary. We have different fields of work. So we have business administration, we have business development, marketing, finance, IT, and engineering. So of course, each one of them has different job description. For example, business administration can have HR, business development is more about sales, marketing is more about promotion and graphics, finance is about accounting, and IT and engineer, you can guess already. Then the main organization are, as I was saying, companies, so multinational companies and startups. And as I was saying, youth target is always between 19 and 30 years old. So we have different durations. So if you go from 6 weeks to 3 months, is 375 euros. If you go from 3 to 6 months is 400, and from 6 months and a week actually is to 1 year or 1 year and a half is 425 euros. It's very, very important when you are applying for AIESEC projects to take in consideration the experience. So if you are applying for a project that is short term, so less than 3 months, experience is not needed. But if you're applying for 6 months, at least 6 months or 1 year of experience is needed. And if you apply for long term, usually at least 1 year of experience is needed, because of course they hire also more competent people, let's say like this. It's not really an internship, it's like a full-time job. So we have different destination based on the duration, because of course, you know, like the current context also sometimes doesn't allow companies to hire people for a longer term, especially for visa issues. So for 6 weeks to 3 months, you can see that we have Austria, Turkey, Romania, Brazil, and Tunisia. The first one, 6 weeks to 3 months, they don't have visa restrictions, so they accept every nationality. While from 3 months to 1 year, they have a little bit of restriction based on nationality. But I can say that Germany and Netherlands, they don't really have any restriction, but their processes are long. For the others, they require an EU citizen. So if you are French people, you have no issues. So here are some projects, but I can send you later. Is it all good with Global Talent? Do you have any question?
Yeah, it's very interesting. Thank you.
Thanks. Okay, then we move on to global volunteer. So global volunteer is completely different from global talent. So here we promote the SDGs. Do you know them? The Sustainable Development Goals. Have you heard it? Um, Objectif de développement, something in Spain, in French. I don't remember.
Objectif de développement durable, à mon avis.
Exactly. I'm sorry, I don't speak French. That one. Maybe you heard that one. Amazing. So Global Volunteer, each project of them is based on the SDGs. So what we are, because AIESEC is also partner of the Youth for Goals, is a UN department. So AIESEC is part of this Youth for Goals project with the UN. So we have also this partnership. That's why Global Volunteer is completely based on SDGs. What are the benefits? Of course, again, the cross-cultural environment, and here it's much more emphasized than the global talent, because here usually if you go like in big entities, for example in Brazil or Mexico, you can be at the same time with 100 nationalities. Or because for example, when I went to Turkey, we were 70 people and we had 35 nationalities, and I met people like from Moldavia, I met Moldova, I met people from Indonesia, Malaysia, those countries that at least in Italy are not super common. So when I was there, I was like, wow, I've never thought that I would be friends with someone from Malaysia or Indonesia. So it's something that impacted me a lot. Of course, it's a volunteering experience. So in this case, you're not going to be paid. And you usually work with an NGO or a school. It depends also on the purpose of the volunteering project. And then of course you're going to develop yourself, because while in the global talent you are more boosting your professional aspect, here is more working on yourself, because you're actually putting yourself at the service to other people. So for the global volunteer, the duration is of course less because it's not paid. So it's between 6 weeks to maximum 2 months. So if you want to stay 3 months, you need to do 2 global volunteers. So you cannot do one and extend it. And then the working hours, of course, since a volunteer is between 20 and 25 hours per week. Minimum benefits, you usually have accommodation for the full duration, and the accommodation, it depends, can be a hosting family, can be they rent a house for you to stay with other interns, or can be like the hostel with like a hostel of the school or something like a campus. So it depends on which country and also on which period of the time you go. So we work on the SDGs, as I was saying, and the main organizations target are the organizations themselves, like the NGOs. And here, no experience is required, and also the English level, it should be between B1 and B2. And we don't ask for certification. They do an interview, and based on the interview, they will know your English level. So we don't ask for any certifications. Same for global talent. They don't ask for certification, but they want a C1 level of English or French mother tongue. Like for example, Belgium really cares about French mother tongue. Those are the SDGs. If you don't know them, maybe they sound familiar, because in France I saw them a lot during in the street. So I don't know if you like any one of them. What is your favorite SDG?
I personally like the life on land. That's my favorite. But I know that all of them are super important, so we need to work more on making the companies implementing those SDG goals.
We have some answer in chat as well.
Yeah, I was seeing. Actually, the project that I did in Turkey, I was doing the one for gender equality. It was a very interesting project because I was working with the center of the UN with the refugee, like women refugees. It was women in power, and we were distributed in different classrooms, and we were teaching like entrepreneurial, so like how to open a startup. We were teaching them English, and some of them we were teaching them like how to communicate, to do presentation, PowerPoint. So it was actually something super empathizing on how we can exploit what we know and give them to the others. Okay, but the most common for AIESEC is for sure the number 4, quality education. We have also reducing inequalities, because this one works more with immigrants. So of course, especially in the European context, you are going to receive to see a lot of these projects here. But we have also number 8, especially in Latin America or Africa, because it's about economical growth. So that they ask for that too. And if you go with Latin America, we have a lot of 13 to climate action. So those are the main projects of AIESEC, but for sure you can find all of them around the world. I wanted to ask you to go maybe to the website of AIESEC.org. I'm going to send it in the chat. So just for you to see the website. And I want to make I wanted to show you the website. But I will finish presenting and then we can go there, just for you to know how to use the website and how for you to be able to look for projects. Oh no. Okay, you see full screen, right? Okay, so for a global volunteer, the destinations are different from the global talent ones. So here we have, for example, Hungary, we have Romania, we have Brazil, Indonesia, and Estonia, and Russia, but they may change like for the next semester, because for now we were focusing on in Europe, since you know that we were in lockdown and there were some confinement restrictions, government restrictions, because unfortunately France was also red for a lot of countries, so they weren't accepting French people to enter the territory. So for now we are focusing on in Europe, but for sure we are going to expand our destination also to Latin America and to North Africa. Here we have also some projects about the process for you to know like how it works. Generally speaking, of course, you sign up on AIESEC.org, so you create an account there, and I really recommend you to be the most precise possible, like where did you study, what did you study, to put your backgrounds, what are the skills that you know, because this is like a first screening of your personality and of your knowledge. So if you just put your name, surname, and you fill it with your data, you're not helping the other entity to see what you can offer to them in this project. Then after that, you're going to be in touch with someone from AIESEC in France. So of course here you're going to be in touch with someone from Lille, and they are going to give you some tips and tricks on how to apply for projects, what kind of project can suit you better based on different criteria. Then you should be interviewed from the other entity. So for the global volunteer, you are going to be interviewed only by AIESEC, and AIESEC will define if you are good to go or you need to try in another place. And then we have global talent, that is a little bit complicated than global volunteer, because you go through an interview with AIESEC, then you need to go through an interview with the company, and then again with the HR head of the company. So usually it's like between 2 and 3 interviews. And after that, you get accepted, and only once you are accepted, you are going to pay the fee to AIESEC and sign the contract. So you can apply to as many projects as you want. You're not going to be charged, but you're going to be charged the fee only once you're accepted. Is it clear?
Yeah, it's clear, but just one moment about your PowerPoint. It's cut for us. I don't know, it was okay for previous slides, but this one is cut. Maybe the next one will be okay.
Okay, I'm going to reshare my screen. Can you see it?
Yeah, it's better now. Thank you. Perfect.
Thank you for letting me know that. So you are going to pay the fee only when you're accepted, and after that you're going to be having some preparation before you go there, like especially now for COVID measures, like those are the things that are going to be put in practice by the law in that country. Those are the things that you should expect, like what kind of accommodation, what kind of role. If you work in a company, who is going to be your tutor, because usually each company has a tutor for interns, because AIESEC cannot help you like exactly to to integrate in the new environment, because we don't work in the company, but someone from the company that exactly knows everything there is going to help you with the process of meeting new friends, to know what is your role, to get trainings, because if you don't have experience, sometimes they cannot put you like, hey, now you work, and you're like, yes, but what I need to do. So they are going to support you in this case on how to know how you to do your job, and you are going to do the experience. And so this means that you're going to have support from AIESEC before your internship, during your internship, and at the end also of your internship. You're going to be contacted by AIESEC in France to like, hey, how was your experience? What do you think we need to improve? Do you want to join AIESEC? Or like, if you have any feedback also for us to improve for next time. So we always welcome feedbacks. So just for you to know that you can always count on us. So you are not going to be alone in this project, because always AIESEC is here to support you in every step that you do. For our partners, we have, of course, some partners. We have smart renting in case, for example, you are renting a house for, I don't know, 1 year, and you need to do your internship for 6 months, and you are like, okay, I need to pay the rent for 6 months, but is it really, how to say, a benefit for me or not? So you can rely on smart renting. So they will take your house, they will take care of it. They may sub-rent it to someone else, and they will pay the rent for you. So if you want, you can give them the house. You don't pay the house for 6 months, and they will pay it for you. The minimum is 6 weeks to use smart renting, and also our projects minimums are 6 weeks, so it perfectly matches it. And it can be maximum 1 year for smart renting, so it perfectly matches also the duration of our projects. So you can receive this link. I think Nyamja will receive this booklet, so for you to use it, you can get those discounts. Then you have Koala, maybe you know it, it's the health insurance company. So for AIESEC, one of the standards, like mandatorily, is to have the health insurance before you travel. So for Koala, if you use the health insurance with the AIESEC code, you're going to pay 29 euros per month. So I think it's also quite cheap, and it's valid internationally. Then we have Shut Up and Go. So if you want to share your experience abroad and you want to put it in a blog where people can read it and like see how you lived your experience. So if you like writing, you can also put your experience in Shut Up and Go with movies or videos, blogs, like how you really want to show your experience abroad. And then you have Eurocenter. If you want to move to this country, I don't know, you really liked it, they hired you for a longer term experience, so you can also use Eurocenter to take all your belongings from France to that country. And also you have 6% of discount with the AIESEC FR code. And here you have my contacts in case you want to know more about it. So now I'm going to show you how to use AIESEC.org. Allora. Okay. So. I'm loading the page, but you should be able to see it. Okay. My internet today doesn't love me. It's fine. We love her. We love it anyway. So I'm going to change browser. Maybe it's going to be better.
Or I can try if you want, Imen. I can share the screen.
Yeah. Perfect. That would work.
You just
Definitely.
give me 1 second and I will do it.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Okay. We have another project, but I didn't really mention it. It's Global Teacher, and it's very similar to Global Talent, so the professional one. Actually, nothing changes. Just the role that we have is that you're going to teach a language to how to say, to different people. It can be children, can be like teenagers or adult people, and it's very similar also to Global Volunteer, because Global Volunteer, most of the projects are about teaching, but the difference is that Global Volunteer can last maximum 8 weeks, while the Global Talent is from 9 weeks to 1 year. So sorry, Global Teacher is from 9 weeks to 1 year. So Global Teacher is more about teaching, or it can be also translating and interpreting. So if you want to go in this field, also you can find something in Global Teacher. Why I didn't mention it is that like doing our analysis in AIESEC in France, we had only 2% of our interns interested in Global Teacher. So like our market is not really in love with it. So I didn't mention it, but you know that it existed. And if you want, you can ask me more questions about it.
I have a
So
question
yes, sure.
about it. Did you think about to make it like online, you know, through Skype or Zoom, because and more with this situation of COVID, because it's easy to teach language online, as I'm doing this. That's why I'm saying this. And for example, if I want to participate, I can do it from all over the world and teach English, Russian, French, or whatever I want, and it can be very useful. Do you have something like this, or is
Yes.
it offline? It's
Okay.
online.
I have the answer, but it's not really exactly what you're looking for. So we have the partly remote internship, which is, as you can understand, is not fully online. So for the first 3 months maximum, you can start working virtually and then finish the rest of the months in the country, because as I was saying, the purpose of AIESEC is to put the person outside of the comfort zone. So it's we don't do fully online because you're going to lose the the purpose of AIESEC. So yes, you can do it, but partly only, so maximum 3 months.
Okay.
Imen,
Thank
can
you.
you tell us more how is organized AIESEC France actually? Not everyone might know that in every city there is an LC operating.
Yes,
So
yeah, for
we
sure.
like to share.
Yeah, so in France we have 16 committees, and each one of them have different universities of competencies. So for example, Lyon is the responsible of all the universities of the Lyon region. Then Lille, of course, is responsible of Lille. In Paris we have 5 committees, and each one of them have at least 5 universities. We have Montpellier, we have Nice, we have Marseille. So it's actually spread all over France. And we have like a structure where we have a president, and then we have responsibles like vice president that are responsible for different departments. So we have like HR department, we have finance department, we have marketing, we have outgoing exchanges, the one that I am responsible of, and then we have finance department, finance and legalities, like money and contracts, those beautiful, amazing things that we need to really very, very, very careful of. So those are the main departments that we have in AIESEC in France, but we have also another department that is called business development, which is about creating partnership with AIESEC. So it's more about, I don't know, finding something that can be suitable for our interns and benefits also the organization itself. Just one thing, because of our policies, we can only have partnership with organizations that actually believe in our values. So if they sell alcohol or they are instigating for war, of course, we are not going to be partnering with them. So it's something that I am always underlining, because I want to show you how much AIESEC is an environment where actually we really care about the world, and we really care about the health of other people that are around us. In AIESEC France, currently we are around 350 members, so all spread all together. and we are a very international environment. Like in my team, I have 16 people working with me, and actually only 2 people are fully French. The others are really coming from North Africa, from Asia, like India. We have China, we have Vietnam, we have Indonesia. So it's really a diverse environment. And this is something that I really love because I love internationality, but I think it also gives an added value to my experience itself. So for the website, as you can see, you can select the experience. So if you go like there, you can select which one you want to do, like if you want to volunteer, if you want to intern, or if you want to teach. And then the duration, as I was saying to you, like you have different durations that you can select, and then which starting date you want to be in that project. So for example, you're looking for something from March to, I don't know, May. So you put there the research, and you're going to find a lot of projects. Each project, we call it opportunity. So if you see opportunities are the list of the projects. And in the top of the picture, on the top left, you see a symbol. So if it's this blue is global talent. If it's the book is the global teacher, and it's more orange. And the other one that is more reddish is volunteering. Since Nyomja put intern with AIESEC, so now you're going to see all global talent. And you have here different projects. Can you stop just here? Just to explain something. Thank you. So you see the title of the project. So just for you to see, like, okay, marketing, okay, I'm studying marketing, this is what I'm looking for, or you can find finance, accounting, whatever. So also it gives you like an insight of about what is it about the project. Then you see the city where the project is seated, and then you see the nation. So I cannot read it. Arequipa, I think, or Arequipa. Peru. So you know that is the city in Peru, and you can see the duration. So it's between 6 months to 1.5 years. We are going to see the duration much better later, and then you have a small description of what is the project. So if you click on the project, you're going to see this, what Nyomja is doing right now. Can you go down, please? Thank you. So since Nyomja now is in Albania, she's going to see another different fee, which is cheaper because, of course, AIESEC prices are based on the living cost of the country. But you are going to see the salary. So, of course, the salary is super important. You shouldn't expect a salary that you should gain in France, because its salary is based also on the living cost of that country. So I honestly don't know how much is 1,000 PEN, but it should be like at least enough for you to live in that country decently, so to afford an accommodation and to live there. So don't think that you're going to receive a salary that is a Madonna Santa, like huge, but it's not also something super low, you know, it's in the middle. Can you go a little bit up, please? So here down a little bit. Okay, so here if you see the field and also the language required. So the partners that I showed you, the destination that I showed you before, they usually look for French speakers. So if you have that that language, you're going for sure to be much more advantaged. And these are a small description of the company, so you can read about it. Maybe you can look for it, and you can go down, please. So here also you have the role, what is going to be your role. So what are the responsibilities that they are going to be having, and then the working hours. Usually AIESEC doesn't work during weekends, but of course it depends a lot on the country, because if you go to an Arab country, they don't work on Thursday and Friday, so you will work from Saturday to Wednesday. So just be prepared also for the cultural days that you're going to see in the week in the country. So usually most of the time it's from Monday to Friday, but of course it's under the law of the country. So here you see also your main responsibilities. Can you go down? And here you have the slots. So as you see, it starts on the 16th of August and it finishes on the 20th of August 2022. So it's 1 year. So you can just click on the slot, and you are going to be applying. So if you go down in the, so here you can apply until 21st of March. So even though it starts in August, the process needs to be finished by the 21st of March. Okay, because they need to know if you are going to be selected, if you are going to receive the visa for that country. So like they give you also the time to prepare yourself. And sometimes it's not like this. Sometimes it can be super fast, and in 15 days, you're going to do everything. Can you go a little bit upstairs? Upstairs, sorry, up. Okay, so for the eligibility, you're going to have like what are the requirements for you to apply in this project. And if you don't have the required ones, you're not going to be able to apply there. So just for you to be sure that you put those requirements in your profile. So for example, of course, marketing background is important because you are doing marketing, the skills. Can you go down? Languages that are required, nationalities. So as you see here, they are looking only 3 nationalities specifically, but you can see also that there are all nationalities. And then minimum study level. Then here you have the process. So they say that in 12 days, you should be able to know if you're selected or not. And down, you're going to see the logistics. So they are going to provide you accommodation and also a laptop. So you know that those 2 things are already given by them. You're not going to have transportation or food because you're going to be receiving a salary. And here they give you a link of their embassy, how to ask for a visa. And also here for the health insurance, as I was telling you, it's mandatory. After your internship experience or volunteering or whatever, you're going to receive a certificate after you evaluate your AIESEC experience. So after that, you're going to receive 16 questions where you evaluate your AIESEC experience. After you finish that, you're receiving a certificate that you can also post on LinkedIn or put it in your CV folder. That was all from my side. I don't know if you have questions. I don't want to talk more, so you can ask me.
Yeah, I just I will ask some questions, and if somebody wants to ask something else, please put it in the chat or raise your hand and we will give you a floor. First of all, the small question about teaching program. Do these people who want to participate in this program need to have like a teaching skills? Do you, I don't know, examine them for this?
Yes, we don't really ask, as I said, for any certification, just the education degree. So, for example, if you studied languages or you, I don't know, you have teaching certificates, that for sure are an added value. But we don't base our selection on how many certificates you have, but what experience do you have. For example, I know that a lot of students are doing private lessons, and it's not something that you can get a certificate with. So if you have experience with that, maybe you can give some references, and we take in consideration that. So it matters a lot.
Okay, and the second question is about partnership. How do you search partners for AIESEC?
Okay, so I am not the first responsible for that, but we have different methodologies. So first of all, we go to LinkedIn. We look for the company and we see, for example, if the company, matches what we are doing. For example, now we are trying to have a partnership with L'Oreal because they are really taking care on how they use their cosmetics products. So to be super sustainable and to not harm the environment. So these kind of things are for sure something that we value a lot, and we get partners with. For example, we have also partners with, I don't know if you know the brand Barilla, pasta brand.
Yeah,
okay,
for sure.
we have partnership with them because Barilla, for example, when we eat, like we had a movement last year in Italy when we were taking a picture with Barilla and cooking that pasta. We were of course sponsoring them, but they were giving each plate to that plate, like to poor people. So they were donating food to other people based on how many tax they were receiving from AIESEC. So that's how also we contribute with through our partners. So of course we really care about the mission of the partner and how we can support in helping others through that partnership.
Okay, thank you very much. We have a question in the chat.
Yeah. So about how many students for AIESEC in France only, usually it's between 400 and 500 students. In my opinion, it can be a lot more, but because I think AIESEC is not really relevant in France, like not everybody knows it, as also we were seeing at the beginning of this conversation. Yeah, usually it's between 400 or 500. Generally talking, it depends a lot on the country. It's something that, how to say, it says a lot also on how many, yes, only for France. It depends a lot on how to say, like, what is the position of the country in the international context. I'm going just to give you an example. For a French student, we have a lot of opportunities. We have Erasmus, we have the fact of being European itself is such a huge advantage for us to just travel by an ID card and we don't need visa. So we are much more facilitated on getting an internship abroad without AIESEC, right? But for sure, like Tunisia or Morocco or African countries or like less developed countries, they don't have this facilitation of traveling whenever they want, through ever they want. So of course, for France, it's going to be a smaller number for this reason. But if you look, for example, in Turkey, they do like 3,000-4,000 exchanges per year. Because of course, Turkey is situated in Europe, but they don't have the EU countries advantages. LT is long-term contracts. Okay. So yes, it depends also on which kind of experience you do, because for global volunteer is not something that you can have long-term experiences, but that's what I was saying before for global talent especially. Usually when they hire a person, they hire it for a longer term. So it's just 1 year with AIESEC, but most of the time they take the person for longer term. So I was working for the incoming part for internship in Italy last year, and we had 10 people coming from abroad, and 8 of them got a contract for 4 years after their experience with AIESEC. So if you go for long term, like for 1 year, you have more high chances to get hired by the company because they are investing on your education, let's say like this, to be in the company. So of course they don't want to lose you if you're doing also a good job and they like you. So it depends a lot on which kind of companies you are applying for. But of course, if you choose DHL or Microsoft, like those big companies, when they hire someone, is usually to take it for a longer period.
Okay, thank you. I think I have one question more about how do you hire by yourself in AIESEC? What is important, for example, for you, for I don't know, is it what person usually show you, or how does it work for you? What is the most important for people who want to work in AIESEC to be, I don't know, volunteering?
You mean to go through an exchange with AIESEC, not to be a member of AIESEC,
no,
right?
to be member of AIESEC.
Okay, what matters for us for sure is more the motivation, because we are all volunteering. Like we are not getting a salary because we volunteer in AIESEC. So it's of course the motivation, because if you do it, you need to do it because you really want it. And second thing, it needs to be someone that speaks English most of the time, because we are in a very international environment, as I was saying. So not everybody speaks English, and especially if they are in my department where we need to talk to other countries, because once a person applies to the project, AIESEC in France contacts the other country and say, hey, I have my friend who applied here. Can you text them and see how is the process going? So of course, English is something that we need, but it's not mandatory. Like it depends also on the department. And another thing, how much time they want to invest in AIESEC. Like usually the minimum is 6 months, because if they join, we teach them how to do the job, and then after 2 weeks they quit. We how to say, we wasted our resources, like our times, and preparing them and doing stuff, and then they quitting. So most of the time are those three things.
And how many hours you need to work a week volunteering? Do you have?
It should be between 10 and 15 hours, not that much.
And it depends, I think, on the position, because when you join AIESEC, you can join as a member first, but then if you're interested to grow more on your position, you can be then a vice president on a specific department, and you can stay more, and then you can also grow as an LCP, which is the president of the LC. And for example, now in Lille, there are around 30 members of AIESEC Lille, and everyone has a different responsibility. And if you are a member, you have less responsibilities, but then if you are and vice president, you have more responsibilities and you need to work more, and in the same time you have to manage your team, you have to report to the AIESEC France, like the MC, and this way, like, you can develop your skills on managing, on like leadership, on communication, designing skills, on managing people, and also creating new partnerships with different companies and different universities. And sorry for interfering, Imen, but from AIESEC Lille, since I'm a member in AIESEC Lille, you can join always, not just to have an exchange, but you can join just to develop your skills. And me personally, I've been it has been helping me on managing a multicultural team, because this way you don't have only one culture to get to know more about them, but you have like 4 or 5 different cultures, and they have different ideas about leadership. And some of people have the idea that you need to have a hierarchy, you have to be reporting all the time, but others like team working more, and they don't accept like only sending rules, but they wait also from your side to give them space and tell them their creative ideas on how to improve their department and how to work more in marketing. So since I'm a part of the marketing department, we are improving ourselves on designing, on how to promote AIESEC Lille, how to get more people, on doing exchange programs. So for me, it's like more interesting this part than doing an exchange program, because I think that this way I will grow more. But there are other students who join AIESEC to get to know more about AIESEC, and then they go in different exchange programs. So it's the same thing for different cities in France, and there are different partners for different cities. So for example, AIESEC Lille, they have partners with AIESEC Morocco, they have partners with partnership with AIESEC Turkey as well. They have partnerships with AIESEC Albania, AIESEC Montenegro. And if there are, for example, different programs, they share with us, and then we share in our social media. This way we create partnerships, and the number of people who are going in exchange programs, it differs more like from based on the LC, and then the general statistic of AIESEC France grows. So that's all from AIESEC Lille, I think. And if since you are more from Lille, I can answer if you have questions.
Well, yes, I had a question, but I think I forgot. Sorry. I think it's super clear, with a lot of details, and I'm sure that if somebody is interested, can write you if you are okay to share maybe your contact or somebody who can ask
Yes.
questions.
I'm sending here the link of the presentation, and at the end of this presentation there is my contact, so my email and my number. Like, feel free to reach me there.
Yeah, thank you.
Honest, I really prefer WhatsApp because I'm much faster to reply. So you can reach me there.
Yeah, thank you very much. And I think we can look more in your website to see, because you give a lot of opportunities, and it's really, for me personally, it's very interesting, and about volunteering and about job experience. I remember what I wanted to say. I wanted to say that it's a great opportunity to be a member of AIESEC after to like when you participate, you learn how Nyomza said a lot, and after it will be super helpful for you for future job, and you can put it in your CV, and these skills you will never you will be always able to use in your job, and I think it's a really great opportunity. Thank you very much for sharing this. It was
Thank
really
you
great.
all for this invitation. I really enjoyed it, and yes, thanks very much for your active participation. I really loved it.